So after doing all of this research on the Spanish education system and on teacher education in Spain, there were a few things that really stood out to me as very interesting when compared to the findings of my group presenters about Italy and France, and also when compared to the system that I'm used to here in the United States. The main thing that really stood out to me is that there's no teacher test requirement in Spain. So as Emily pointed out in her slides about France, there's a CRPE required. Even here in the United States, before a teacher can begin teaching within a school, they have to complete a test after they've completed their 4-year degree. But in Spain, that is not a requirement. The only requirement is the necessary degree. Relating to that, I thought it was interesting that the necessary degree to teach at the secondary level is a postgraduate degree, so a master's degree or some other qualification after the 4-year degree. Considering the level of knowledge that it takes to be able to teach in depth a subject like chemistry or English at the high school level, I think this is very interesting and useful and possibly very effective. Also considering that at the age of 16, education is no longer compulsory. A student in Spain has the opportunity at the age of 16 to leave middle school and go on to vocational training or go on to enter the workforce. Then in essence, when they choose high school, it's similar to choosing a university or to choosing to go off to school and continue their education at that level. And so I think it's interesting that a master's degree is required for teaching at that level. I also thought it was interesting when comparing the TALIS results in my first Spain slide to the previous slide about professional development and in-service teacher training, that there seems to be kind of a disparity between what the governing agencies are saying is useful for teachers and what teachers are saying they're really getting out of it. In the survey, if you remember, teachers found that they weren't receiving good feedback, they weren't receiving a good measurement of how they're doing as teachers, and a very small percentage found that society in Spain finds their job useful and finds their job beneficial to society. But in the previous slide from the European Agency, they find that professional development is a core value for them. It's very important. It's a right and a duty, as I pointed out in that quote. But there seems to be kind of a different perception of what that professional development is doing between teachers and governing agencies, and that same sort of struggle can even be seen here in the United States. So I found that very interesting. So these were the findings and comparisons that really stood out to me in looking back at the other countries we looked at in our own education system. I hope that you enjoyed our presentation, and I hope that you will go through our references and maybe check out some of these sites that were very interesting. But thank you so much for spending the time to listen to our presentation. I hope you have a great day.